Okay, this is number 34 from the Algebra II/Trigonometry Regents, January 2013. Determine the solution of the inequality the absolute value of 3 minus 2x is greater than or equal to 7. The use of the grid below is optional. Okay, so first, when you are dealing with absolute value anything, you know that you're going to be dealing with two separate equations, or in this case, two separate inequalities. When you're dealing with inequalities, we have to worry about whether it's going to be an or an and. Okay, how do you know if it's an or an and? Well, if the absolute value part of the equation is greater than or greater than and equal to, it's going to be an or. Okay? So if it's greater than or equal to, or if it's greater than, it's going to be an or, and that's the case here. So we know that we're going to deal with an or. I don't need this grid, so let me just get rid of that. So we're dealing with an or here, okay, because we're dealing with a greater than or equal to sign. And I'll go over that a little bit more further on, okay? So we're dealing with an or. We're going to make two separate equations. First one is going to look like that. Just rewrite it without the absolute value brackets. The second one, since, by the way, if I said equations earlier, excuse me, inequality, you're going to write two separate inequalities. So this is the first inequality. It's just this without the absolute value brackets. The second inequality, you're going to flip that greater than or equal to sign, and you're going to negate this side of the equation. Okay? So then you're going to go ahead and solve both of them. So minus 3, you get negative 2x is greater than or equal to 4. Divide both sides by negative 2. Now you know that when you divide an inequality, when you divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, you're going to have to flip the inequality sign. So you get x is less than or equal to negative 2. Let's go ahead and solve this one. Minus 3, negative 2x is less than or equal to negative 10. Divide by negative 2. Same thing here. You divided both sides of the inequality by a negative, so it's going to be x is greater than or equal to positive 5. And that's your answer. X has to be less than or equal to negative 2, or x has to be greater than or equal to 5. Let's talk about the or part a little bit more. To illustrate this, I'm going to use the graphing calculator. So let's go ahead and let's graph the absolute value. So go to math. We need absolute value. That's here. The absolute value of 3 minus 2x and let's graph 7. And let's take a look at the graph. All right, now look, what we want to know is, when is the absolute value of 3 minus 2x greater than 7? So this is 7, and this is the absolute value of 3 minus 2x. So when is the absolute value of 3 minus 2x greater than 7? Well, here it's greater than 7. Do you see that? Or here it's greater than 7. Do you see that? Anywhere in here it's less than. So that's why this is an or. When you have a greater than sign, it's going to be an or automatically. If we were interested in less than or equal to, then it would have been an and, right? It would have been this part, but we're not interested in that. We're interested in the greater than or equal to 7. So it's this part here is greater than 7, or this part here is greater than 7. Okay, thank you for your time. I hope that helped. Sorry if it got a little confusing at the end. If you have any questions, leave me comments. Thanks. Take care.